One literally for the money. Two for the show, party people. In the place to be, it's me once again. My goal for this weekend was to edit and put together as many videos as I possibly could. My goal for the past week has been to not have to edit as many videos. And luckily, I really haven't had to do a whole lot of them, so I can just crank them out. So as I'm taping this on Sunday night, March 8th, expect to see a bunch of videos just all in a row. I'm just going to purge them on you tomorrow morning. Shh, don't tell my boss because it'll technically be at work, but don't shh. On YouTube, Daily Motion, and now Vimeo. Yes, Vimeo is the next place where 2 drink minimum reactions are going to be. As of right now, I'm on the free subscription, which means I max out at a certain amount of space I can use. We're going to see if it's worth it for me to upgrade to the paid service so I can expand the amount of stuff I can load on there, so you can just see a whole bunch of me on Vimeo. As of now, you can see a whole bunch of me on Daily Motion and YouTube, and there are going to be links down below depending on where you're watching this from. Now, what brought me here tonight, on a night where once again I was not planning on taping anything, is a little tidbit I got courtesy our friends over at the Huffington Post. Now, Huffington Post is a fairly divisive site depending on what you're talking about and which section of it is. But this is from the Huffington Post business section. Here are 7 redesigns of the $20 bill that honor women. Now, here's the thing about this. This isn't a new story. I saw this a couple weeks ago. Or not a couple weeks ago, but about a week or so ago, and didn't think much of it at the time. I had an opinion. I was like, whatever. It's suddenly becoming a thing. I can see it on the horizon. It's going to become a thing here in the gender war that we're currently involved in. And here is my take on it after 2 healthy drinks. 1 rum and coke and 1 amaretto and coke. Well, let's read the story first, and then we'll see. And then I'll tell you. If you could choose any historical woman to be on the $20 bill, who would it be? A nonprofit campaign called Women on 20s seeks to put the face of a woman on the $20 bill by 2020, the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment, which granted the right to vote to women in the United States. After conducting a survey of 100 people, around 24 of whom were historians and experts in women's history, the campaign has landed on 15 potential candidates: Susan B. Anthony, Clara Barton, Rachel Carson, Shirley Chisholm, Betty Friedan, Barbara Jordan, Patsy Mink, Rosa Parks, Alice Paul, Frances Perkins, Eleanor Roosevelt, Margaret Sanger, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Sojourner Truth, and Harriet Tubman. We chose historical figures who had really changed the lives of many people, and we also took into account the challenges they faced getting there. Women on 20's executive director Susan Andes 80s Stone told the Huffington Post. She added that while the campaign hopes to create a popular movement, any official redesigns will ultimately be up to the U.S. Treasury. People can visit the campaign's website to vote for the women they think should replace Andrew Jackson on the 20. 80 Stone urges everyone to vote and tell your friends, especially since this Sunday is International Women's Day. This is not just a campaign about getting women on the 20. That's our crowning goal, but we really want this to be an educational campaign and a national conversation, 80 Stone said. We wanted adults and kids alike to look at these names and think, I don't know enough about this person and maybe I should find out more. Here are a few mock-ups of what the 20s will look like with a woman on it. And so they cut this in about half. There's Sojourner Truth, Eleanor Roosevelt, Rosa Parks, Clara Barton, Rachel Carson, Alice Paul, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and that's about it where it leaves off. Now, you want to know my opinion on this? Think you know what my opinion on this is going to be? Well, no you don't. My opinion on this is, so what? So what? Do it. It doesn't matter. Let me tell you why it doesn't matter. First of all, we've had women on our currency before. Susan B. Anthony and Sacagawea. This time it'll just be on the dollar bill. Secondly, we secondly, we would be one of other countries that have people on their currency that aren't luminary, that aren't, or rather, that aren't people in positions of power, that aren't presidents or kings, that are luminaries to that particular country. So there won't really be, like, they're not putting Kim Kardashian on the fucking 20. They're putting Sojourner. They want to put Sojourner Truth. They want to put Harriet Tubman. Okay. All right. Like, my assessment of whether or not these 20s will be good ideas is, will I still be able to give them to a stripper in exchange for a lap dance? If the answer is yes, then fucking go ahead. I don't care. Will it at least most of the way fill up my gas tank? Who gives a fuck then? I don't care. Like, it's not, and it's a good thing, because here's why it's a good thing. Because the women that they want to put on these 20s are women who actually did something. Women who stood up for a particular cause that needed to be stood up for at that time. You understand what I'm saying? We're not talking about these fucking current wave Tumblr feminists who bitch about stupid shit. We're talking about women who rolled up their sleeves and fucking did something. People of any ilk, whether man, women, black, white, Jew, Gentile, who stand up and actually do something and solve a problem that needs to be solved. Fucking salute, baby. You earn my respect on the note that you didn't just sit around and talk about it. You went out and was about it. Damn it. And these are women who went out and were about it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, put Rosa Parks on the 20. Hell yeah. Okay, put Eleanor Roosevelt on the 20. That's fine. That's fucking fine with me. Here's why I decided to do a video on this. Because I can see, fucking call me Karnak the Magnificent, I can see where this is going to go. This is going to go in the pile. This is going to go in the file in the gender war, where there's going to be men, and probably already are, men who stand up and are like, this is terrible. This is feminist overreaching. How dare they try to change the fucking money? Well, here's my opinion on it. This doesn't count as feminist overreaching. It just doesn't. Feminists do overreach on a whole lot, on enough shit so that it irritates people, and that it agitates the relationship, really, a lot of the times, between men and women, because feminists in first-class nations tend to yell and scream about nonsense. This isn't overreaching, though. This isn't overreaching, because our current currency is never set in stone. It's just not. Our currency has never been set in stone. And like I said before, we wouldn't be the first country to put women on our paper bills. We wouldn't be the first country to put women who weren't in positions of political power, except for, I guess, Eleanor Roosevelt is first lady, I guess, if that counts as political power. But we wouldn't necessarily be putting anybody not in a elected position on our 20s. It's not the first time. It's hell. Ben Franklin was never elected to anything. Well, okay, he wasn't a president. And we have him on our goddamn money. And before you say anything about everybody has to be a president, Ben Franklin was never a president. Neither was Susan B. Anthony or Sacagawea. Goddamn. So this isn't a big thing, but I can see it becoming a big thing, and that's going to be a problem, because what'll happen is the guys who are yelling and screaming because it has anything to do with women are going to be lumped in with those of us who think slightly more rationally about feminist issues and the feminist movement and its current state, who don't just, there are some of us who don't agree with everything that they do, because a lot of what they do is not agreeable if you look at it rationally. This is one of those issues where there are going to be a whole bunch of people men mostly jumping up and down, yelling, screaming, and complaining, and it's not going to matter at all. If the 20 is still worth whatever the 20 is currently worth, then it's not going to matter. And the people that they're going to put on there are luminaries anyway. They're people who always deserve some sort of recognition for the work that they've done for the betterment of the country. And the people who jump up and down, yell, scream, and complain about it, just because it's women, should not be lumped in with those of us who don't see this as that big a deal. You know, just the same way it wasn't that big a deal when they changed money however many years, when they officially changed the design and made the faces bigger, and then officially changed the design again and added more color and more stripes and more of this and more. Every year the money changes. It probably changes in size every once in a while, minusculely, when we don't even notice. So it's not gonna make a difference. This shouldn't be an issue, and it will be an issue, and that is sad. And both sides of it, the sides that are like, fuck this because women, and the side that usually says, yay, everything that has anything to do with women, should both just take a fucking seat, alright, and let the grown-ups talk about shit like this, and it's fine. It's not gonna be a fucking problem, alright? It's fine. On that note, this is not going to be the last video I do. I thought it was going to be, and then I saw something else. And that something else is going to be a better issue, hopefully, a better issue than this. So, boom, and boom.